A gentle piano melody begins, slightly out of tune like a forgotten music box. A girl's voice, layered with a melancholic wistfulness, begins. Oh, hello. It's rather difficult to articulate, isn't it? To distill a feeling, a hollowness, into mere words. But I shall endeavor, because sometimes it feels as though if I don't speak it, if I let those silences fester, the sorrow will simply consume everything. You see, I believed, with the naive optimism of youth and, admittedly, a rather inflated sense of entitlement, if I'm brutishly honest, that education was a sacred pact. An exchange, a promise of betterment. That sounds dreadful, doesn't it? So terribly earnest, but bear with me, it's relevant. And like the principle of things you understand, it all started with this idea, you see. This lovely, shimmering, utterly illusory prospect of betterment. I, with my perfectly curated aesthetic and inherited taste for the finer things, my grandmother, may her memory be a bouquet of lilacs, always insisted on bespoke linens, enrolled at London's South East College, as I've come to bitterly refer to it, LSEC, as if abbreviating the wound somehow makes it less agonizing. It really doesn't. I had envisioned a hallowed hall of learning, scholars and copious amounts of tea, debates that would ignite my intellect. Instead it felt sticky. Not literally, although the floors in the enrollment area did have a faintly unsettling residue, but emotionally, like wading through treacle laced with despair, the very air tasted of disappointment. Does that sound dramatic? It's honestly not an exaggeration. It's a physiological reaction to prolonged exposure to institutional apathy, I assure you, like feeling a decay in one's soul. It's science. The enrollment itself, the enrollment, 7 hours. 7 hours of my precious, limited existence, frittered away in a purgatorial waiting room, populated with equally bewildered souls. 40 of us, crammed like particularly tragic sardines, and the staff. They initially presented as negligible, exuding an air of profound boredom, like they'd rather be anywhere else. I kept checking my wrist, certain my watch had malfunctioned, because time genuinely seemed to warp and bend in that dreadful space. Then this harried woman, looking as if she hadn't slept since the fall of the Roman Empire, finally deigned to address us. She announced with a weary sigh that things were a little slow. A little slow? It wasn't a little slow. It was a systematic dismantling of all hope and expectations. Then she casually suggested we could simply leave and return at a later, unspecified time. Imagine, like our time holds no value. Like our aspirations aren't, important. I wanted to scream. I did, in fact, internally vocalize a small, strangled sound, but I repressed it out of concern for maintaining my composure. One must maintain standards, darling, even in the face of utter chaos. And the questions, the endless unanswerable questions about course schedules, which campus, which days, a simple query one might think, but no. The staff looked at me with vacant expressions. They hadn't the faintest clue, and it wasn't a matter of them being busy, they looked just lost, disconnected. It felt like I was asking a philosophical riddle, not a logistical detail. I felt something cold and cynical settling into my heart, and realized what this place actually was. It was a scam. A complete and utter waste of everyone's resources, people working just to work, paid for doing nothing. The economy is so sad sometimes it feels like the world is ending, don't you agree? I was given a start date for the Bexley campus. Of course, upon arrival, the building was closed. A sign taped haphazardly to the door informed us that the class had been relocated to Bromley. No prior notification, just silent abandonment. The cleaners, bless their weary souls, were the ones who relayed the information. The cleaners. They same.
Ed more informed than the administrative staff. Don T, you see how fundamentally wrong that is. A lack of communication, a casual disregard for students' time, a spectacular failure of basic organizational skills. It's a microcosm of societal decay.
Comprehensive travel advisory businesses near London South East College's Bromley College. If you're expecting a pleasant experience from businesses near London South East College's Bromley College, prepare to be disappointed. The area is plagued by incompetence, neglect, and a general lack of care, whether it's shopping centres, gyms, restaurants, or nightclubs. The reviews paint a grim picture, and if you're not careful, you might leave with more frustration than you bargained for. Let's start with the Glades, Bromley, a shopping centre that seems to operate on pure chaos. Parking here is a nightmare. Machines don't work, staff are unhelpful, and security guards seem to enjoy making life difficult for visitors. One family was locked out of the car park in freezing weather, mocked by a guard who followed them into a deserted area at night. Another visitor found no air conditioning, turning the place into a sweaty, miserable maze. And if you think shopping at Zara will be a peaceful experience, think again. Long queues, understaffed tills, and an unbearable stench make it feel more like a punishment than retail therapy. Then there's Bannatyne Health Club Chingford, a gym that somehow manages to make working out worse than just staying home. Broken equipment, filthy showers and locker rooms that double as abandoned storage units. The spa treatments. Rushed, overpriced and sometimes non-existent. One couple paid £100 for a spa day only to be told the therapist couldn't be bothered to turn up. And if you dare complain, expect silence, emails go unanswered, and receptionists stare blankly like you've asked them to solve a complex math problem. Hungry, Have-It restaurant might tempt you with its menu, but be warned, your meal could come with a side of mystery hair. One diner found strands of varying lengths in their food, only for the staff to return with an entirely different, much longer hair, insisting it was the only one in the kitchen. Others reported expired sauces, tiny portions, and a manager who refused to accommodate a simple request for a child-sized meal due to a medical condition. The service, slow, dismissive, and at times openly hostile. If you're craving coffee, Black Sheep Coffee will make you question why you didn't just make instant at home. Staff ignore customers, drinks arrive half-made, and the tables are so dirty you'll need a wipe before sitting down. One blind visitor with a guide dog waited endlessly to be served before giving up and leaving, only for kind strangers to offer buying him coffee elsewhere out of pity. Nightlife. Prison Brighton is less of a club and more of a hazard zone. Security guards have been accused of excessive force, drinks are overpriced and taste like chemicals, and the floors are so sticky you might lose a shoe. One guest described music so loud it triggered a health warning on their watch, dangerous decibel levels that could cause permanent hearing damage. And if you think you'll get your coat back at the end of the night, think again. Staff will shrug and tell you the club is closed, leaving you stranded. Even something as simple as candy isn't safe. Lolly's sells overpriced sweets, some already broken, and staff have been accused of rudeness and false theft accusations. One customer was charged £11, £99 for a prime drink, a product that costs £1, $99 in supermarkets. And finally, the Artful Duke, a pub that has fallen so far from grace it's a wonder it's still open. Food poisoning risks, dirty glassware, and missing menu items plague this place. One diner found eggshells in their eggs Florentine, while another was served a virgin mojito that was mostly ice and cost £9, £50. Conclusion: if you're staying near London South East College's Bromley College, brace yourself. The businesses here operate with a shocking lack of professionalism, hygiene, and basic human decency.
Whether it's being trapped in a car park, served expired food, or ignored by indifferent staff, the area seems determined to test your patience. Your best bet, travel further out, because the only thing you'll find here is regret.
Okay, so I was like looking into stuff around London South East colleges, Bromley College just because. And it's depressing, honestly. Businesses here, they seem to really love tricking people, especially tourists. It's just So a lot of shops around here pretend to be official government places. Like if you need to change the address on your driving license, which, by the way, is free if you do it yourself online, these places will charge you almost £40. £40, can you believe that? They make it look legit with signs and everything. Probably someone thought they were doing the right thing, handed over the money, then found out it was all for nothing. I bet they were so angry and probably felt stupid too. The shop, they probably just kept doing it to someone else, honestly. It's just exhausting. Then there's the fake document places. Passports, birth certificates, they sell you anything for a price. But it's a scam, of course. They charge you a fortune and either you don't get the document at all or it's completely fake. Tourists especially get caught up in this. They're probably stressed about traveling, maybe don't understand the rules and just want to get things sorted quickly. They hand over their money and then nothing. They're probably stuck, trying to sort it out with the embassy, missing parts of their trip, And the people running these shops, they're probably already moved on to the next scam or opened another shop somewhere else. And the counterfeit goods. Near the high street shops by the college, they sell fake designer stuff, exclusive deals they call them. It's all rubbish, basically. Tourists think they're getting a bargain, but the bag falls apart after a day or the electronics don't even work. They probably felt so disappointed. Maybe they even tried to return it but got nowhere. The shop probably just